Your tomato plant is tall, thick with leaves, and you're still only pulling a dozen tomatoes off it when it should be giving you 50. In this video, I'll show you step by step how my grandfather, Nonno Luigi, always pruned the tomato plants using his Italian method. It's a brilliant method that has fallen into obscurity. Follow each step carefully so you get the best results and don't miss any important information. My grandfather, Nonno Luigi, made 3 cuts on every tomato plant he grew. The third made his tomatoes ripen before the rest of the block, and I am saving it for last because it only makes sense after the first 2. Together, these cuts improve airflow, reduce disease, produce larger fruit, and extend the harvest until frost. I learned this next to Nonno Luigi in a strip of dirt behind his house, barely wider than a parking spot. He walked that row every morning with his coffee, and his free hand would reach into a plant and pinch something off without breaking stride. I once asked what he was doing. "I'm telling the plant what matters," he said. I didn't understand that for 20 years. Here's what he meant. Think of tomato leaves as energy factories. They capture sunlight and turn it into fuel. But when a plant becomes too bushy, the inner leaves are shaded. They still consume water and nutrients while contributing little. Pruning removes dense, unproductive foliage so that the plant can direct more energy toward fruit growth. Left alone, a tomato plant does not aim for the biggest harvest. It tries to spread, sending new stems from nearly every leaf joint, because that helps it survive in the wild. Each extra stem demands water, nutrients, and sugar. Nonno Luigi was not being rough with those pinches. He was deciding where the plant's strength should go. Those shoots are called suckers, and they grow from the V, where a leaf meets the main stem. Before removing anything, identify which kind of tomato you are growing. If you treat a determinate tomato like an indeterminate one, you can cut away much of your future harvest. Determinate tomatoes, that is, those with limited growth, reach only a certain height, usually 4 to 5 feet. Their top bud becomes a flower cluster, signaling the end of vertical growth. Most Romas and many San Marzanos grow this way. They develop quickly, produce a concentrated crop, and often ripen much of their fruit together. Their compact size suits small gardens, raised beds, and grow bags. Indeterminate tomatoes, that is, those that grow indefinitely, are different. They have no terminal flower bud and keep growing until frost, disease, or the gardener stops them. Most large heirloom slicers and many cherry tomatoes belong to this group. In warm climates, they may produce well into autumn. Their aggressive growth requires deliberate pruning to prevent a tangled, disease-prone jungle. And this is exactly where you have to be careful. To prune confidently, recognize 4 parts. First is the main stem, the plant's backbone. Second are the large leaves, its primary energy collectors. Third are the flower clusters that become tomatoes. Fourth is the sucker, which grows at roughly a 45-degree angle between the main stem and a leaf. On an indeterminate plant, each sucker can become another complete stem with leaves, flowers, and fruit. Now for the first cut. If your plant is determinate, prune lightly. Find the first flower cluster, usually about a foot above the soil. Remove the suckers growing below that cluster, but avoid aggressive pruning above it. Many of those upper shoots are already developing to carry fruit. Cut too much there, and you are not improving the harvest, you are cutting it away. Also, inspect the bottom of the plant. Remove any leaf touching the soil. Leaves resting on dirt create a direct route for disease. Rain and hose, water splash fungal spores onto the lowest foliage, where early blight and septoria leaf spot often begin. Clearing this under canopy improves airflow, keeps foliage drier, and closes the door that disease was using. If your plant is indeterminate, you become the architect. You have 3 choices: a single, double, or triple leader system. For the largest fruits and simplest structure, keep 1 leader and remove every competing sucker. Train the stem up a string, trellis, or stake. This gives excellent airflow, but may reduce fruit count. For most home gardeners, a double leader system offers the best balance. Keep the original main stem and select 1 strong sucker, usually the one directly below the first flower cluster, to become a second trunk. For a triple leader, keep 2 strong suckers. Once you choose the leaders, remove the others as they appear. Small, tender suckers can be pinched away with your fingers. Thick, woody suckers should be removed with clean, sterilized shears. Do not wait until the plant becomes tangled. Large suckers have already consumed energy, and removing them leaves bigger wounds. Check plants regularly in dry weather, preferably early in the day, so cuts dry before evening moisture arrives. Never prune a wet plant or remove more than 1/4 of its foliage in one session. The second cut is the disease prevention cut. Once the plant reaches about 2 feet tall, remove leaves that touch the soil or hang close enough to catch splashback. If you see yellowing, spotted, or damaged lower leaves, remove those first. Wipe your shears with alcohol before moving from one diseased plant to another. This does not cure an infection already inside the plant, but it slows the upward spread and gives healthy foliage more air and light. Pruning suckers also gives you something most gardeners throw away: free plants. Tomato stems have the ability to produce roots along buried sections. Nonno Luigi kept a cracked terracotta pot on the porch rail, half filled with damp soil. Any healthy sucker longer than his thumb went into that pot instead of the compost pile, and a new tomato plant grew from it. You can do the same thing too. Take a strong sucker, remove the lower leaves, and bury the stem deeply in moist soil. Keep it shaded for several days while roots form. Within 2 weeks, it can become a new plant of the same variety. This works especially well with heirlooms such as Costaludo Genovese, or when you want a free backup crop for late summer. Now, the third cut. 3 to 4 weeks before your expected first frost, top your indeterminate plants. Cut off the main growing tips and remove the newest flower clusters that clearly will not have enough time to develop into ripe tomatoes. This is the most painful part of the Italian method because the plant still looks healthy and eager to grow. But those late flowers are demanding energy for fruit that will never mature. By removing the top, you tell the plant, "Stop climbing. Put your remaining energy into the green tomatoes already hanging on the vine." It feels wrong, but it helps the existing tomatoes grow larger and ripen before cold weather ends the season. Never top a determinate tomato. Its natural growth cycle already stops on its own. If your plant is already tangled, shaded, or spotted, start with yellow and diseased leaves. Identify the strongest 1, 2, or 3 stems and remove unwanted growth gradually over several days. Removing too much foliage at once can expose fruit to intense sun and cause sun scald. The goal is not a bare plant, but a plant where every remaining leaf is useful. As a first step, figure out whether your tomato plant is determinate or indeterminate. Determinate varieties stop growing once they reach a certain height, while indeterminate varieties keep growing upward indefinitely. You'll usually find this information on the seed packet. For determinate tomato plants, remove only the suckers below the first flower cluster. For indeterminate plants, keep 1 to 3 liters and remove the rest regularly. Cut off leaves near the ground, root sturdy suckers, and top indeterminate plants 3 to 4 weeks before the first frost. If you interpret these signs correctly, you'll stop hoping and start directing the plant's energy toward the fruit.